Hello, everyone. In this video, we're going to be learning how to write to a file using MIPS assembly in using the Mars development tool. So to get started here, we need to cover some more syscalls. Specifically, we'll be covering syscalls 13, 15, and 16. In the next video that I'm going to do on this subject, we're going to be going through syscall 14. But to start with, syscall 13 is open file. So it stores 3 arguments. A0 is the address of the null terminated string containing the file name. In other words, what file are we opening? Argument A1 contains the flags, which we'll look at an example here in a second. And then argument A2, which I didn't use and it's not 100% necessary, is the mode. It's not necessary to specify the argument. In terms of outputs, register V0 contains a file descriptor. Note that this will be negative if there's an error. So we won't look into that in this video, but in a future video we will. Next, we need to talk about write to file, Syscall 15. So A0 is the file descriptor. A1 is the address of the output buffer. In other words, what are we writing? And then A2 is the number of bytes or characters to write. V0 contains the number of characters that are written, and this will be negative if there's an error. And then last for this, close file is syscall 16. And then it only contains one argument, A0, which is the file descriptor. So let's take a look at our program now. As you can see in our data section, we have our file name. We could also call this as our file descriptor. And then we also have our message. So what are we actually printing out in the file? So the first part of this program is to open the file for writing, again, using Syscall 13. So we are passing that into V0. Next, for argument A0, again, address of the null terminated string containing the file name. So we're passing in the file name, output.txt. We're setting our flag to 1 for write mode. Then we're performing the syscall. Remember, once this is done, V0 contains the file descriptor. So we need to store that into a temporary register because we need to use V0 for something else. So from now on in this program, register T0 is that file descriptor we need to use. So we need to use that for writing to the file, and we need that to close the file. So next is actually writing to the file using Syscall 15. So we're passing that into V0. We're loading that immediate value. We're setting A0, again, our first argument here, as file descriptor to our temporary register T0, which contains the file descriptor. Then we're loading in the message address into A1, which is our output buffer. And then A2 is the number of bytes to write. So we're just putting 20 for that because that's enough. And then we're performing our syscall. Finally, we're going to close the file using Syscall 16. So again, this is real simple. We are loading the immediate value of 16 to register V0. Then we're moving T0 into A0. And then we're performing the syscall. And then after that, we just need to close the program. So let's save this. And note, I do not, so before I compile this or assemble and run it, I think it's important to understand that I have this saved in my desktop and I do not have the output.txt file even created yet. But as you will see, it will be created in my desktop as well. So I have this file, assembly file, writing to a file.asm, saved it to my desktop, and the output.txt file will appear in my desktop. So let's assemble and run it. Note you can see here program is finished running. And now I'm going to share the output.txt. And as you can see here, it says hello world. So that is the same message as is stored in the data section. So I hope this video was informative and was a good way to get started with writing to files using MIPS assembly. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. But otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.